Hey there clan, Scotch192 here, and welcome to the three-way Bioware news. This week we have received three big-ish announcements from Bioware. I'm going to talk about all three of them. I'm probably going to spend the most time on the Dragon Age 3 one, but let's get to this straight away. And I probably should have got this up beforehand. I forgot to get something up. Forgot to get something up before I... there we are. Yeah, I fucked up. I've got to get something up that I needed to read. There we are. Got it. But basically, the three big news that came out is that the two co-founders of Bioware, Dr. Ray and Greg, I think it's Dr. Greg, but I'm not going to quote myself on that, is that they have announced that they are retiring from the gaming industry, which is sad news, unfortunately. Greg and Ray were both the founders of Bioware, and all I've got to say to them is thank you for founding one of the, in my opinion, greatest game developers of all time, to help create some of the best story-driven RPGs that have ever existed, in my opinion. That is basically all I've got to say. Is a big thank you to both of them and to all of the team at Bioware, and all it is, wish them the best of luck in their future endeavours. Now, some people have been asking me, and probably asking them, is this because of Dragon Age 2 and Mass Effect 3, and did EA have anything to do with this? Let me just state this now, I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about two guys that took a risk all those years ago, and that risk paid off. And all I can say to them is, well done. You basically went, yes! You threw the dice, so to speak, and it paid off. I think every developer is entitled to at least one bad game. And by the way, Bioware have never had any bad games. Dragon Age 2 was a good game. It wasn't their best, but it was a good game. Mass Effect 3 is a good game. It's just the last half hour, and well, actually, I've been spending I spent 3 days thinking of stuff that's wrong in Mass Effect 3, and it's more than just the last half hour, by the way. But Mass Effect 3 is still a good game, so in my opinion, Bioware have not had a bad game. They've had not a good run. Now, Mass Effect 3 and Dragon Age 2 may have had something to do with that, and EA more than likely did influence it in some way, shape or form, but the way I'm seeing it is, these two guys have dedicated most of their lives now to running a gaming company, and it paid off. They've more than earned the right to retire. All I can say to them is, if they're watching this, which is highly unlikely, enjoy your retirement, and hopefully this isn't the last we hear of you. Hopefully we will still hear a lot about you, and hopefully find out what happens after your retirement. As it is, enjoy it, you've earned it. That's all I've got to say. So don't be bitter about it. They've decided to do it, and all I can do is wish them the best. And hopefully hopefully someone steps up and becomes the new head of Bioware, and this head can tell EA to go fuck yourselves. I'm kidding. But then there's the other two big newses, which are Mass Effect 3 and Dragon Age 3 related. I'm going to talk about the Mass Effect 3 one first, because I don't have a lot to say on that besides my initial thoughts. Dragon Age 3, however, I have one major thing to say about that, and I'll probably spend a good chunk of the time with video on this. The first thing, Mass Effect 3, on a blog post on the Bioware blog, one of the lead developers, I think, I'm sorry, I cannot remember for the love of me, he wrote basically a blog stating some future things that they have planned with the departure of the two co-founders. And one of the things that they announced, which I don't know if this was done on purpose, but it probably was, he basically let out that the Omega DLC for Mass Effect 3 will be coming out in the fall of 2012 from what I read, which is big news. Still think Omega was meant to be in the first game, even though the DLC is. I'm still better about that bit. I'm still a little bit better about that. Omega was probably something that was meant to be in the game from the start. As this DLC is coming out, I'm not going to say I'm not going to buy it, because I can guarantee I'm buying it, unfortunately. I can't help it. I'm addicted to buy anything related to Bioware right now. And I'll admit, I have a couple ideas of what Omega's going to be like. I have a couple of theories. But I'm not going to say them on this video. As I say, if you've read Invasion, which I've only read the first issue, I actually am trying to get hold of the paperback, or hardback if I can, I prefer hardbacks, of Invasion and all the Mass Effect graphic novels, so I can read them. But I do know that Omega basically was fucked up, and Cerberus control it. So, I have a few theories, a few ideas, but until I read Invasion, I can't really speculate too much. But it will be nice. Hopefully Arya's a party member for a short time. I'm kind of hoping that Arya becomes a party member for a short brief time. That would be awesome in my opinion. We'll wait and see what happens. I have a couple of theories, a couple of ideas. But the Omega DLC is something that we've been expecting. We knew it was coming no matter what, so look forward to it. I have a couple of ideas. It's probably going to be about 800 Microsoft points, and hopefully it doesn't do anything stupid. And probably it still won't make me want to replay the ending of Mass Effect 3. That's just me. Now let's get to the big thing. Dragon Age 3. Sorry, I have to reword that. Dragon Age 3 Inquisition. That is now the official title for Dragon Age 3. And I'm actually going to educate you a little bit. I have the, this is what I was looking up. I have the definition for the word Inquisition. The act of inquisition is a matter of an investigation. See Simons inquiry. Shit. Sorry, a verdict of judicial inquiry. So yeah, that was shit. But yeah, this combined with the title of the main character, which is the Inquisitor, just leads more away that this game's going to be set during the Mage Templar War, which I am super excited about. As it is, if you've read Dragon Age Asunder, which I would highly recommend you do, or if you want to check it, go check my review. Yeah, I'm plugging myself, don't like it, go away. But this is definitely near enough guarantee that we're going to be experiencing a war in Dragon Age 3, which is awesome, and especially with the name of the Inquisitor, leads more to the fact that we are going to be multi-race character creator, which I'm like, yes! Hopefully. I'm hoping, because no offense to Dragon Age, one of the bad things about Dragon Age 2, in my opinion, was the lack of character creator, in my opinion. It was still good, but I would like it if you could choose race. Sorry about that, I've got a runny nose today. I'd say, just for me, it leads to more major. So probably by the looks of it, you'll be playing a character who's basically investigating something on both sides of the Mage and Templars, maybe, and you'll have to decide the outcome, basically, from what I can hear. That's just my opinion. As I said, the title is not the big news, in my opinion, because we all know that Dragon Age 3 was going to be called something. Inquisition sounds awesome, though. I love that. So maybe the Templar Inquisition, or the Mage Inquisition, or the Seeker Inquisition. For those that have read Asunder, which, read it! No guys, yeah. But the biggest news is the engine in which Dragon Age 3 is going to be on. For those who don't know, it's the I think it's the graphic. I mean, graphic engine, and it is called the Frostbite 2 engine, which was developed by the creators of Battlefield, DICE, basically. Which is a bit of a surprise, in my opinion, because that kind of screams something to me. For those that don't know, the Frostbite 2 engine, I think it was in Battlefield 3. And Battlefield 3 had one major aspect to it that everyone loves, from what I can hear. Destructible terrain. I think my pal stated it best. If there's a guy behind cover, how do you get to the guy? You blow the fucking wall up. So, the Frostbite 2 engine, from my knowledge, and I've got it up on Wikipedia here just in case, main focus with the physics and all that magical gaming jazz is focused on destructible terrain, which I like, which gives me a little idea or two, in my opinion. Aspects of animation, destruction, and scale. Yep, destruction, which says a lot, because if you think about this, why would you put an engine that main focus, with also making the game look good, is destructible terrain? Could this mean that Dragon Age 3 is going to have destructible terrain? And I don't mean like you go away, you come back, the place is destroyed. I mean active destructible terrain. So you've got a catapult, you want to get through a fucking wall, launch the fucking catapult at the wall, there's no sneaking anymore. Which says a bit of a bad thing and a good thing, in my opinion. This does add a lot more to the game, which hints to me more of this being more of a strategical game, in which you have to think about what you need to do, since you are basically going to be fighting during a war, from my guess, just from the title alone, but I could be completely wrong, by the way. But with the Frostbite 2 engine, it sends a wee bit of a message to me that this is an EA mandate, maybe. either that or Bioware asked for it. I'm not 100% certain. But the Frostbite 2 engine, as I stated, its main focus is destructible terrain, which is nice. I like that. It could add a wee bit more to the game. And Battlefield 3, I'll happily admit, even though I don't like those type of games, and I think Battlefield 3 is highly overrated, it is a pretty damn good looking game, in my opinion, from what I've seen. I've not played it, but from what I've seen, it's actually a really good looking game. So that's actually a good thing, the Frostbite 2 engine. As I say, it's a bit weird for them to do that, in my opinion, to go to a military shooters engine. But as I say, if they do it right, it could look awesome. Now, one or two people have stated that this guarantees that Dragon Age 3 is going to be on the Xbox 360 and PS3, this generation's console. I want to debate that, actually. I think it won't be. I'm still quite adamant that I think Dragon Age 3 will be on the next-gen systems. I could be completely wrong. There's still a chance they could be on this generation systems, but next-gen systems seems more likely for me. Mainly because, here's the thing, when the first couple of games come out for the next-gen systems, here's the thing. They're not going to look that much different from the Xbox 360 to 720. Because, and the PS3, 3, sorry, they're not going to look that much different because developers are still learning the tricks. Developers have had 7 years, I think it's 6-7 years, to learn every single trick, nuke, and glitch in the game engines that they have now for the Xbox 360 and the PS3. So they're still going to be using those techniques for the next gen systems, at least for the first wee while, at least, because it's a whole new engine, a whole new programming system, basically. So what I think is, the Frostbite 2 engine doesn't mean it's going to be in this generation consoles. It could still be on the next gen consoles. It's highly unlikely, but I still think it could be. I could be wrong. Just for me personally, it looks like we're more likely going to have the Dragon Age 3 on the next gen system, because there is some rumours flying about this. Dragon Age 3 has been delayed till 2014, when it's scheduled to come out next year. There's no exact release date. They're still working on it. I'm hoping 2014, and that does scream to me that it's going to be in the next gen systems. Just for me personally, I could be wrong. But engines are transferable over different systems. Otherwise, you couldn't play an Xbox game on a PS. You couldn't play any game. Every game would be an exclusive game, basically. Or each system would have a whole different engine, and games would look drastically different. Engines can be transferred over different systems. So don't think that just because Frostbite 2 is here, it guarantees it's going to be in this generation consoles. It still could be on the next gen consoles, in my opinion. And can you imagine Dragon Age 3 being a launch title for the next gen systems? Those systems would sell massively. But that's my opinion. And I'm excited for the Frostbite 2 engine because it is a good engine from what I've seen. But at the same time, it still screams a wee bit like, they gotta try and turn this into more of a military kind of thing. A DA Black Ops. Oh God. Oh, I think I just died inside a little. I'm messing with you. Just from my opinion, from what I've seen, from what I've heard, from what I've read, Frostbite 2 engine sounds like a good thing, but at the same time it also sounds like a bad thing, so it's a bit iffy at the moment. So I think that's all I've got to say on this. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. And if you want to, there's a subscribe button up above my head somewhere, I think. Feel free. Every time you subscribe, you get nothing. Just you get to watch my videos. Simple as. Hey! But thank you for watching. So I'll see you all there. Thanks for watching. Ciao for now.